Hello, Internet, wherever you are. Welcome back to the same session that we're going to be covering and understanding. How is everything coming out at this kind of the portfolio? Because it's a village report and what is being meant at this kind of the point. Today, we are so disappointed, and I'm so disappointed, and much of the people are so disappointed. Early in the morning, as I called Mogesi to allocate and tell me where the boy that was mistreated and he was used at the villa and he was called a thief. A young boy of 14 years was called a thief. And at that absolute manner, yes, we don't deny stealing is bad. We don't emphasize for that one. But can you go straight to the point and understand? Why is this kind of the person doing this? Because if it could be your son, will you go and talk about, you will just walk with the same boy outside in each and every village. Tell them that, oh, you know, that is the stupidity of the Africans. I can speak it more specifically in Nyaboanse, whereby a person cannot use a common obrangata, whereby his own hypothalamus are not ringing as a person. Is coming out to whatever I can put it onto the platform. Talk about, yeah, let people see that I have CCTV camera. Stupidity of the highest order. Who is interested with CCTVs? Do you think that you have CCTVs here? Do you think that the person cannot intervene and get into that kind of the stupid compound, which is talk about something which is very contradicting, and it's just looking so petty in such kind of a condition, where you can just, every time you're just into the video, you are just making sure that you're jumping like a frog because of too much of them. Talk about the animal waste from the horses waste, from sheep's, goats, cows, and each and every kind of the animals. They're pouring in each kind of the environment. And you're talking about, oh, you know, this kind of the area, people are having some jealousy. With what? And to that artifact, I can come to the conclusion whereby I've reached. Because when I called Mogesi that, hey, Mogesi, can you allocate this kind of the boy? He told me, yes, I'm going to be allocating. I'm in the video. Whenever I'm going to be finishing, I'm going to be going there to check, or I will get you the hint where the boy is. So at the end, I just managed to reach where this kind of the boy is. And do you understand what followed there? Guys, it was a mimicry. It was something which is very stupid. That imagine Maro has gone there and he has told them that they should not access or allow anybody to go there in terms of helping. And reaching at that kind of the position, you can imagine they have been promised handouts and much of the things, yet they have exploitively put that kind of the boy's face to the platform. Do you understand what's coming tomorrow right now? Let him wait, because things are going to be coming very, very crucial. Because it's not a mandate, because he was telling Gintu, you understand, let me tell you a story. When I met with Marwa at, talk about the road construction, he was telling me that, oh, Gintu, you are the one who put the case to Geneva, and it went from Geneva, it came to Kenya, the headquarter, from the headquarter, it came to the children's rights in Migori County, then they followed it up until the sub-county, until it reached at the ground, the police station at Isibania, and Gitriba was arrested because of the molestation. Again, he said that Ogintu, you are the one who put the videos onto the platform of Obasa, and I helped that kind of the lady so they can just come out and people recognize, because I was the one who removed her from the construction. She was a very pretty lady, but she was being misused at that kind of an artifact of doing the construction. And Mayuguno was consuming, as we are talking, consumption rate was high up to date. And they're talking about, oh, you understand, it's A, B, C, D. They think about you are fools. Ask Chris the Great will ever give you the responses. Why did Chris the Great leave Abbas up to date? You can understand it's not something which is stupid. It's because of Mayuguno is still attached to himself and talking about ABCD. Sometimes you have to understand how the program is. And when you see some people living, that they think about that the people who are having much of the money to talk about, oh, leave those kind of the boys, they don't have nothing to do. One day they'll come to sense that this villa, it is called a slavery. Because You cannot tell me that you cannot hold the boy who is 14 years and ask and interrogate the boy. What has made you to come and steal? What has made you to come and do this? And it's not stealing. The boy was gathering much of the was stealing where he was and coming to sell at the villa. Talk about they were buying bananas, they were buying sugar canes that are stolen from one place, and Amaru was the one who was buying them. But he cannot arrest himself and put himself in that condition that also he was part of the program talking about I ever bought this kind of the things. Because if I have been stolen a phone, talk about that kind of an affidavit whereby the verdict point whereby Mogesi bought a phone. That phone was stolen. And again, he was arrested because of what? He was the person who was got with that kind of what? So Amaro could be arrested because he was the one who was got with such kind of the items or such kind of the fruits. But for him to put himself that he has money to put that kind of the stuffs out, he has to go direct and talk about, we have to put this kind of the boy to the platform, which was so stupid, immensely stupid. And you can understand from that kind of an affidavit, that's the point we are ever coming. When are we going to be man? You're talking about I am an actual science person. A very stupid mangroots people here. And when we talk about it, they talk about we are attacking them. For what? Now, he has been told that everything has been reported. Talk about YouTube going to be dealing with you perpendicularly per unit time. He has rushed with his own mongoose supporters who are talking about, now Maro, go and support this boy ABCD. Yet you have been humiliating the same boy. You have done it. Even God knows. And even God will act perpendicularly from that one. Because it's not a good way of handling everything. I told much of the people, Amaro can never hold any kind of the thing. He has to put it onto the camera. Everything, including, it's only recently, he cannot put a cucumber that it has been erected. You can find that sometimes it's very hard for him not to understand. Whenever you're going to be doing some conjugation and doing some cucumberization, you can find himself filming himself. And everything is onto the camera. Very stupid ideas and very stupid mongoots in terms of idiocy of the highest order. Those are the people we call lunatic, psychopathic, and we can call them crocodiles. Because when we talk about bringing a transformation, development, lowering the dignity of that boy, because the video has to be there. What about when the boy will be becoming a very big man? Do you think that those videos will not come out and talk about, we saw you were a thief in your childhood? Will it be occurring? Talk about right now, as we are right now. I give out a video of the Congrats dad as he was doing some of the stupid things in Kisii and talk about, now you see. So how are these kind of the children talk about Maro, Dimwango, David Jr., Uncle Mo? They are going to take such kind of a whole scenario. So sometimes they have to think, and when we are coming to rectify such kind of the pogromicity and such kind of the stupidity, they think about, Gintu is attacking us, Gintu is doing whatever. We are not being bothered, and we will make it and press it each and every time, so as they can get to the straight point and understand that this is the stupidity of the highest order. When we say that people are going to be helped, there are so many people who are looking each and every position to talk about what am I going to do? How am I going to do? Talk about there are so many students, even at this kind of the video. You're going to be coming from this kind of the point. Talk about we are discovering how can we help the young generation with the concern of the parents, because they have allowed it to happen, because they have nothing, and we want to help them. And at this kind of the point, I can talk about if you're going to be watching this kind of the video at the end, so as you can just see and help this kind of the young generation and make it happen, because there are people who will be coming now and again, and to that kind of they will come one day and talk about this is how I was, but right now look at how I am. You'll come to realization whereby you will understand that why is this kind of the things happening. And much of the people, even me, I was filmed while I was a young boy in one of the institutions or NGOs called Child Fund Program that was programmed from the United States. And it was helping much of the society and development of our society. And was being sponsored. And I had one of the sponsors talk about one of our very good sponsor from New York. I don't know where she is, and I don't know if she knows that I'm a YouTuber also. And if she can just know I am the one who was being sent such kind of the money, she can just talk about, I have seen how it is. So the way I was being helped, it's the same way I can put it to this platform and help the people and make it happen. Because if we don't do it, who will do it? Maro is exposing and telling you that they are thieves, but the children are going to look for something. They have discovered that you are a celebrity, you're going to be having money. Nobody has denied it. But why are you denying your own, you are denying your own humanity and treating people like trashes, including now you have been incited that, oh, now take this kind of the money, go to that family, get the boy to the school and ABCD. Nobody has denied. You have done a very good job. Talk about getting the boy to the school and much of the things, talking to the grandma and much of the things we have already, because I was there. That is a good thing. That is what you could have done at the first spot. And when we come out to say that at the first spot, where was your mind? Not thinking that why couldn't you put the boy onto the platform? Ask about what is the problem? What has made you to steal? And are you studying? Are you this? Are you this? How do you want us to help you? But you're coming to talk about this kind of the boy, you have been trespassing, ABCD, and you're putting the guy and you are disrespecting and disgracing such kind of the guy. That's what he needs. So as he can trigger more of the donation drama. And when he's coming out, whenever he sees Gintu is now performing whatever he's just performing, he's talking about Gintu is just, who told you to be a celebrity? Don't be stupid outside here. Who told you to be a celebrity? Nobody. So you have to understand how the statement is coming. So if it's helping, right now you went there very calmly. So grandma, so hey, young boy. But when you are here, you are rude beyond nature. Even there's nobody can even recognize you are the person who was speaking such kind of the narcotic and stupidical languages, a person who is calling himself an actual scientist. Which kind of actual scientist who cannot even differentiate between a he and a she? An actual scientist who can just talk about this is imagine he has to shout 1, 2, 3, 4. You cannot count silently. An actual science. People are just taking outside their advantage and talking about, oh, nobody's schooled there. They passed through school, but the school never passed through them. It's only that the famic way, and they think about they're going to be staying in that kind of the fame every time. And that's why you see, even right now, I'm talking about it. I am himself, and I take it to the bank and even quote it. He has been paying much of the boys to locate where I am. He has been paying much of the boys, including the new road has been built there. And I was talking about they are now constructing that road, and it will be helping much of the people who are in that ecosystem. And the boys that were there, I never needed any kind of the filmment to film them because they have nothing to offer at that kind of the position, because I'm not in terms of filming anybody at that kind of the position. I can film myself and talk about pinpoint what I want to pinpoint. So the boys have been told that what you have to do whenever you see Gintu, put him at the circle. My friend, let them try their best. And I'm telling them, don't be used with village quacks. Like Maro is telling you that, oh, you know, you have to do A, B, C, D. I'm not interested. And Maro, you will just lose it, because you will find yourself where you have never seen yourself. Because at this kind of the point you think about, you are the person who has money. And you think about you're going to be buying much of the people. Don't think about that kind of the stupid things. I always I have to come from one position to another. Not that this village belongs to you. Now you have been treating much of the people like trashes. You think about you can treat Gintu as a trash. And this is the fact. Because the boys that were waiting for me, and I just challenged them with much of the ways. I'll talk about the pathways. And they were waiting that, oh, Gintu going to be coming here. And they have been already paid. That whenever you're going to be hitting Gintu ABCD, you're going to be receiving ABCD. We have it. Dimwango herself has been treating Murimi, and Murimi himself has ever told me that I was paid so as I can hit you. And that is the stupidity, because we have the hints. We have everything has been spoken there. The Vijuna is now looking Gintu with the police, each one in every kind of the position, talking about Gintu. I will arrest you. Gintu, I will arrest you. which is a very stupid way of handling such kind of the matters. And when they will come to the realization of their own senses, already we have captures of making sure that they are ever doing such kind of stupid things. Whatever they can just do is support the village so as they can groove. They're just thinking about they have everything to commence and do anything they need here, which is narcotic and stupid at the same time. So keep it tuned. Back again from this kind of the spot of the children who are just in need. Here we go. Guys, to the sympathizing module and understanding how this kind of the village, I'm here to study a little bit because I'm going to be having this kind of an event that we're going to be organized to come at this kind of the zone here to understand how is this kind of the zone learning and how is this kind of the zone operating and how poorness and talk about the povertiness, how is it and this kind of the village. We understand it because I want to be studying and understanding whenever I'm gonna be coming here. I should understand how many children. Hi, how are you? You are good. I see you. Uko fiti? What's your name? Joseph. The wrong trouser is having a problem. How are you? Hi. Uko poa? Alafu unaenda mtoni? Safi. So guys, this kind of the way I'm going to be talking about, I have just identified that there are so many children here, and when I'm going to be coming, I should understand which kind of the equipments are going to be carrying all such kind of the stationaries and whatever, because the children are so much, and also I think the girl child too. Hi. How are you?
I'm fine.
You are fine? What's your name? Lydia Gatti. And you? What's your name? Yvonne. And you? Thomas Wankyo. So which problem do you have? Mnakuanga na shida gani?
Hapana.
Hakuna shida?
Hapana.
Kitabu uko na kitabu?
Ndio.
Zote?
Ndio.
Uniform? Wewe ni kimoja uko na kitabu? Wewe ni kimoja. Uniform imechanika. The uniform is torn, kitu ingine? Na vitabu. So you have a problem of a book and a uniform. You understand, guys? I'm collecting a little bit of the data here. Oh, in the uniform. Oh, this is the uniform they're just learning. You can understand, guys. Look at how it is. Indu unaendea shule. Oh, uko grade? Grade 1. So you can imagine, guys, that this is the uniform, how they are. And you can now understand when I come out and talk about this is the struggle that the parents, you can imagine even the student, talk about the child is this way. What about the background where the parents are coming from? And this is why I'm coming here. Hai, acha nifanye kazi afu nitawaona, si ndio? High five. In the high five. Mnaenda mtoni. Bye. Exactly. So guys, when I come to this kind of an absolute manner, you can now understand what is it. So I'm just arrived at this kind of the place. You can see how this kind of the zone is and how it's just at this kind of the point. And I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to be checking the person who's just living here. I've identified the most poverty area. The most thing I can just talk about is how are they living? How is the life? Because the grass attached houses, this kind of the mode I've talked about, it's something which is a little bit weird whenever you get that. Still much of the people are existing with this kind of right now the bigger hotels are the ones that are going to be talking about using this kind of the grass touched so they can just make their own zones very cool and such kind of a way. But with this kind of the life, we're going to be talking about something which is a little bit not well-being. So we're going to be coming to this kind of the zone is trying to build. Who is the owner here? Hello. Hey, how are you, man? Oh, you are fine. Welcome. How are you, man? Everything is good?
Yeah.
Unaitwa nani, bro?
Jackson Getangita.
Hapa ni kwako?
Hapa ni nyumbani.
Nimesikia msichana akiitwa Getangita, ni wako?
Yeah.
Oh, I've had a lady there called Getangita who was wearing a uniform, and I said it because if you see from the background, the outfit of somebody, that's why you can differentiate and understand and configure it out that this kind of a person is living in a little bit not a good well-being area, but you can understand from the children how they are wearing. Until now you can get to know how everything is just moving. Sasa hii ndio nyumba yenye umejenga mpya. Hii sasa ndio mpya. This is now the new design that it's now popping out. Sasa wewe Getangita. Getangita, you understand there's another guy called Getangita from our area there. I think they're related. Talk about the relationship between one family to another community. That is it. Sasa hapa uko na bibi? Ako wapi?
Ameenda kazi.
Ameenda kazi. Sasa wewe kazi gani unafanyanga bro?
Mimi ni mkulima.
Mkulima. Unalimanga gani? Nini na nini na nini?
Mimi nalimanga sukuma. Nalimanga mihogo. Na ndizi.
Sasa kama wewe sasa uko na shida gani sana yenye huwa inasumbua sana kidogo yenye inachanganya?
Shida ni mingi.
Shida ni mingi. Kama gani bro?
Ya kwanza sina nyumba.
Hauna nyumba. Lakini na hii si ni nyumba kidogo lakini na kuweka kidogo.
Sawa.
Lakini at least he's talking about there are so many of a little bit of the problems, and here he is a little bit of a house. He's trying to be like other people, because right now much of the people are moving. You can see how this kind of the zone is looking like. So it's something which is a little bit different from how it is. Shida ingine ni gani tofauti na hii? Watoto wanasoma?
Watoto napeleka shule. Lakini kazi ni ngumu.
Kazi ni ngumu. Sasa wewe unafanyanga vibarua ama unafanya kazi gani?
Mimi nafanyanga vibarua.
Vibarua. Sasa kwa siku unaweza ingiza shilingi ngapi?
Kwa siku naingisha
200. So that is below the poverty rate. Talk about in Kenya, talk about whenever you're earning below 200, or talk about below that kind of the money, you're going to be considered as a little bit of a low wages. Talk about low wages that are going to be offered here. So it's something that it's a little bit not good, or sometimes it's 200 is talked about, but not that it's guaranteed per day, but it's a little bit when he goes and when he gets, it's 200 shillings, which is approximately like $1 a day, and that's the struggle is just making it up. Sasa watoto wao wako na shida gani watoto mostly?
Watoto wangu sijapeleka shule.
Hawajaenda shule?
Si wote wameenda.
Uko na watoto wangapi?
Kuna watoto.
So you have 3 children.
Yeah.
Alafu ni wangapi wanaenda?
Ni wawili tu wanaenda.
Na mwingine? Mmoja ni mdogo.
Yeah.
Okay, so hawa ndio watoto wako? Oh.
Yaani mwingine ndio huyu.
Mwingine huyu hapa. Huyu mdogo. There are 3. So here the huyu ni wako? Huyu. Na huyu. Hey, guys, I told you when I saw this kind of the boy and he was just handling himself at the talk about the cucumbers here, I talked about he's a little bit getting to be afraid, and for us to get this kind of the momentum, even them to be uptaken as part of the family, sometimes we have even to equip this kind of the children a little bit with something which is very fantastic, so they can even enjoy this kind of the life. Even if they're going to be going to play with the other children, it can be considered as they cannot be separated, or they cannot be categorized in terms of the class, in terms of the race, in terms of the hostility, or how the family behaves, or what are they having. Sometimes you can find that the children are going to be playing and talk about, your home is just attached with grass, something like that one, but it will be humiliated a little bit. But at that kind of the point, I can talk about it's something that we're going to be handling. And when I'm just checking about the boots here, so when I check much of how this kind of the life is, I talk about I'm coming to engage to the families, I talk about the community also, so as we can understand how is the living standard. When I'm going to be coming here, what equally are going to be carrying, so as you can just handle and make sure that everybody is getting equitability. I talked about the fraternity of equitability of this kind of the way. So this is how they are, and this is the life. Sasa ni wapi mnalala saa hii? Hapa ndani? Kuko sawa? Okay, let me check inside here. Yeah.
Welcome.
So this is the house. Fantastic. Wow. So it is a little bit stretched to the other side, and sasa hapa ni wewe sasa. Hii ni yako sasa. Na ya watoto. So this is yours. So so I can just understand how this kind of the life is. So guys, we can see on each side. Your watoto iko wapi? I want to see the children, because the children are the tomorrow's leaders. I'm going to be checking them. Let me check on it, guys, so as you can just understand how it is. So let me check about the children, how they just into this kind of, oh my God. This is the children's? Yeah. So hapa ndio wanalala. Wanalala wapi? Godoro iko wapi? Wanalala chini. Oh guys, they are just sleeping down. Oh my God. So you can imagine, guys, this is the condition. Ako wapi yule kijana? Kuja. Let him come and show us. Jo tuonyeshe unalalanga aje. So unatandika? Atoka kwa mlango kidogo tuangalie. So unatandika hivyo.
Yeah.
So that's how he puts a cement a bag. Okay. So that's how you sleep.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This is the life. Na kujifunika? Nguo gani? Oh my God. So that's how they are. Guys, you cannot imagine, this is the life. People are still surviving. And you can imagine when I say about, I'm going to be coming to check on how the life is, on how people are just living. It's something that is a little bit touching, and we have to understand how the things are, and people are struggling outside here, and that's why I've ventured myself to this kind of the village. I have never come to this kind of the village. I want to extend the territories to understand how much of the children are giving it. If you are just passing through this kind of the life, you can sometimes understand that they're gonna be feeling like they are outcrusted, they're not put. Whenever they go to other homes and they get that they have a mattress, it will be something very awesome to them, and talk about, oh, I wish my dad could be this way. So you think the children will gonna be talking about why our parents are poor, why our parents are this way, and it will create some of the stimuli into their body and talk about, no, why are we this way? And even sometimes you can find that they go there every time, every day. You get that they're gonna be caned from there. Why are you living at your home and going to the other people? It's because of the infrastructure. It's because of the beddings that will be so favorable. And this is the condition that much of the people are passing through to become who they are. And if we gather and become one at the county and also supporting us, we can equip them and make it happen, because this is something which is very low, and I sympathize with it, because this is a little bit of a very hardship, very hard life. Guys, keep it tuned. I'm gonna be coming back, and these are just the, when I talk about, you're gonna be having some clothes. These are the clothes that we are talking about. Look at this one here. You can understand when I come out to talk about, I'm gonna be having some, talk about some uniform, some of the clothings, so as they can just wear, they can even equip themselves, and they can be taken as other people. So when it comes to the worstest scenario, it's when it comes to the toiletry. Let me talk about this kind of the toilets and whatever. So this is a pathway, and that's how they always pass. And I can just assure you, this is the toilet. You can understand when I talk about this is the toilet, and how are they coming here. What about the children, guys? Even you can just see from top to the bottom. What is this fermenting? What's really happening? And you can understand children of 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, they are coming to this kind of the zone. And you can just imagine they are now pouring some of the ashes, so as this kind of the zone cannot be sticky, and it cannot smell bad. Oh my God. It's something that much of the people are passing through much. Even if I'm trying my best, guys, I cannot make everything on myself. That's why we come out and talk about I'll ever beg for the poor. I'll ever beg. Even if it comes to the begging, I will be the best in terms of begging, so as we can get much of the young generation, young students, young people can ever be in the, at least, not that we want it to be liked the best, but at least they can be in a moderate way of understanding and making things to come out. At that kind of the point, I can say that that will be the best way for us to equip much of the people and make it happen. At this kind of an Esquire, I like to share, and I like to give this kind of the lives to our team, the community. Whoever gonna be hearing us, whoever gonna be getting us, can get it and understand that much of the people are having the poorest and the povertiest module in this kind of the way. And talk about in Africa, we are still struggling for it. It's not that even if I've just talked about, we're going to be coming together with the government a little bit, talk about the county government, including the area MCA, to talk about we can handle it. And not that even the government, it knows we have such kind of the people. Yes, it knows. But even the government itself, it's trying. Talk about the school fees, talk about bursaries, subsidies, talk about farmers. Every kind of the nature, so they can just make sure that everybody is living in a good environment. But this Esquire I can talk about to the community. Whoever is just watching this kind of the video, $1, $2, $3, it's going to be very much fantastic for this generation to grow, understanding that they're going to be in a very good and humble background, including whenever you can just make it happen. I'll just appreciate and talk about God bless you from wherever you will be. Even if it's a small thing, we can talk about I'm going to be getting my own bread today. Just don't buy a bread, please. And let's get this kind of the people moving. Because at least if we give them a little bit of a hope, even tomorrow they will go on, grow understanding that the way they have been helped, even tomorrow they will be helped. Even me, I was helped. That's why I can talk about we can help them too. Talk about there are much of the NGOs brought with talk about the US government, the UK government, and they have been deployed in every kind of the certain corners, and I was helped too. So when I come out to talk about this is the generation, this is the future generation, we have to restore them and talk about they're going to be something better. And if we show them our respectful and politeness, they're going to grow understanding that even tomorrow it will be another day. My friend is here. Hi. You look good. Do you have a toothbrush? Uko na ya kupigia mswaki? Hauna? Uko na mswaki? Guys, I'm asking about very essential things like a toothbrush, a toothpaste. They cannot be having them. At least we can talk about there is a little bit of a low standard of living. And when I'm going to be coming back here, I should understand what am I going to carry, what am I going to have before I venture coming here. So keep it tuned, keep it locked. I'm going to be coming back with more and more. And when we have to arrange it, some people can propose, how do you want to make it? And how? You can start contributing, and everything gonna be so fantastic. We can just start buying, even if it's not tomorrow, but one. But we have a certain day that we can say that we have this one and we have been buying. Not that we can buy everything at once. Or if you can find that you can just talk about, we can have a mattress, we can have uniforms, we can have books, we can have essential things like toothpaste, toothbrush, and talk about, what else? Huh? Bags. What else? Shoes. What else? Bag. What else? Socks. What else? Uniform. Yeah, you can understand the mattress. Exactly. So, nguo is the wares. Talk about food also. Yeah. So, do you? How many times do you eat a day? How many? Unakulanga mara ngapi kwa siku? Mara moja. Imagine they eat once a day. And you can now talk about whenever they're talking about food, it's something which is a very, very confidential and something which is very the best. And I'm talking one-on-one to the children so they can just give you how the life is. Because when I talk to the parents, they might lie, but the children can never lie. That's kind of the point I talk about. Let's make it happen. And from this one, I'm going to be talking about respect to everyone who has been watching and letting it happen, because this is the way of making it happen. Everybody, and exclusively talk about, I'm going to be getting back to even the YouTubers who are going to be joining the team. Wherever you're coming, whether you are a reactor, this is not part of the reaction. This is part of the ecosystem. This is part of the community, and we can drive it and make it happen as if we come together and make it happen. Keep it tuned. Back again to another area so I can just check the background. And this is just the way we're going to be diving into it. Keep it tuned. Guys, support. And to this one, I guarantee you the respect. And if you support it, we're going to be making it happen. Let's make it happen, guys. I salute and I request, and I'm pleading and I'm kneeling down so as I can just make it happen. From that one, I say that the young generation can make it happen. If you can just have the way the mind I'm having and the heart I'm feeling to them, you can just understand that it's something that is so confidential, something that they have not to lose. And the way they grow, we're going to be having a good generation of tomorrow. And to into that one, let's dive into it. $1, $3, $4, it can be very fantastic. And it will drive us to a different position, talking about helping the community, helping the system. And this, they're the tomorrow leaders. And if we leave them that way, we don't have the future. Keep it tuned. Guys, from such kind of the video you have just watched there, we talk about there are so many children who are in need. If you get to support, because I said once and for all that if it's coming to this kind of the vulnerables, we will ever be begging for them. And begging, you can see what is there. And from this kind of the video, you can understand and pinpoint this kind of the appointment that we can make it happen. Yes, it's a repeat, but it's to emphasize that we said we're going to be getting talk about the platform, a very bigger platform, so as we can just make for them a very good party to make sure that it's going to be disbursing much of the things, including toiletries, including Colgates, including toothpastes, including school uniforms, including beddings, including all the beds and whatever, the mattresses, including sponsoring them with much of the shoes, bags, books, and also equipping them with equitable things that they will just be very equal to others. And already I said that this kind of the platform going to be coming in association, Gintu and the government, which is the county government, to make sure that we are making it happen. Already the county government is asking Gintu, when are you ready? Because I've received already the package that I've already seen how it is between the clothings and ABCD. And I've just talked about we're going to be arranging a very fateful day. Talk about we're going to be rushing to that kind of the day. We can plan it on Wednesday or Thursday. And that will be, I think, about tomorrow or tomorrow, but one on Wednesday, will be the deadline of supporting, to make sure that we're going to be supporting this kind of the pupils and children to equitably, and the fraternity of humanity is brought together. So as we can talk about this kind of the people have been helped in such kind of a manner, so as they can just groove together and make it happen. If we conjoined and if we conjunction and make sure that we're going to be practicing it happen, we're going to be making it happen. Because right now it's not a dull moment. We have to make it happening. And if you have watched the video, you can sympathize. There's no toilets. There is no shoes. They're sleeping. They even are using beddings like rags. Very dirty environment. Sleeping down in. You can imagine sleeping down on a cement bag. And there's somebody who is sleeping in a well position is talking about what I have to show out is this is kind of a thief who is an underage student. To that kind of an affidavit, I can just assure you, on Thursday, we're going to be arranging, because the county government is pressing Gintu to talk about Gintu when, because we want to deal with it perpendicularly once and for all in that village. Because I said, if you're going to be supporting Gintu, support. Talk about the Western Union are going to be giving out. You can just get to my number and you can just tangle and we can just talk about the Western Union. Sometimes it was blocked with Ayamarwa, talking about we are receiving much of the money to attack them here. You can now imagine my Western Union can only do in a specific points, not all the points it can just do. So my MoneyGram is the one that is doing, and also the real money, it's much appreciative. So you can just communicate with Gintu and we can just talk about how you can just send it. You can just send direct via SendWave, and you can just get that kind of the position to talk about everything is handled more properly. And we can just talk about this is one of the biggest platform that's going to be coming, so they can just make it happen, because we have to be there and make it happen, because we have to be part of the program. And it's going to be coming very huge, that's going to be sponsored with much of, we have said about the stationaries, talk about toiletries, talk about uniforms, talk about beddings, and also we can just talk about the sanitary needs and much more, and clothings, to make sure that that kind of the village is equitably. And we're going to be buying some of the fabrics to this kind of our vulnerables, talk about our aged people. They like fabrics that I was ever giving out. And also we're going to be having, if we can find it good, we're going to be having a radio there, because we need an entertainment. And also we're going to be having something like prizes to give them out as prizes, and to make sure that we are motivating this kind of the people to move forward and make it happen. At that kind of the caliber, I say you are welcomed to give out whatever you're going to be talking about or you're going to be having, so they can just squeeze this kind of the platform forward, so as they can just have a good and a minimal time to arrange and make it happen, because we are looking for a better field that we're going to be as a venue that we're going to be looking forward, so as they can just just have this kind of the party platform very much meticulous. I've rewinded this kind of the video so as it can just give you a morale and talk about that is the condition they are. That is the condition so many villages and so many people and so many homes are passing through. So if we can have much of the mattresses as we can, talk about beds as we can, because we're going to be having a support from the government. I don't know which kind of the talk about whenever it reaches tomorrow or tomorrow but one, I'll come out with the full evidence about how the government going to be supporting and which kind of the things going to be the government supporting. But we are part of the program. The government is sometimes, you can talk about, they will be buying something like the sanitary needs, as one of the MCA, who is the member of the county assembly, promised that we're going to be buying much of the sanitary needs to make it happen. But much of the things we're going to be doing it as a platform. And I know from this kind of the acknowledgement and people are watching the community that I'm having in this YouTube platform, I respect and I know we're going to be getting far points as we're going to be joining our hands. Even if the small thing you're going to be having, you're going to be helping this kind of the young people to make it happen. As far as you're going to be putting your stuffs together and talk about you're going to be supporting, God bless you as you're going to be putting your thoughts together and getting it in touch, because we're going to be having it being done with an immediate effect. Is also told about tomorrow is another day. And actually, I know tomorrow is another day. As you are watching, support. So as you can just make this kind of the party as soon as possible, and even to be in this week. So as we can just finish this kind of the program once and for all, and we know how are we going to be getting to another platform, or how is it to be picked from one position to another stuff. Here we go, here we make it happen. Tomorrow is another day, and I know it will make it happen. As far you are watching the video, as far for coming from, support, guys. That is, I said I will be ever begging for this kind of the vulnerables, because they're the ones that will be the tomorrow leaders. If we mistreat them, we don't have, apparently, we don't have the generation that will be equipped and say that you were in that position, but you could not speak something. You could not come and help us. So for us to do it, let us join together our hands. Whatever small we will be having, let's make it happen. There's no much of competition, and nobody is forced to do it. It's from your entire heart, and God bless you before you can even send it. And I know we shall make it happen as big a platform as it will be, because tomorrow is another day. Be blessed. See you. Hello, Internet.